right, let's try this again. We won't go live, we'll just do it regular old school way where I just record it on my phone and then I'll post it. So from the beginning, because I think you'll miss the rest of it from the last two broadcasts that kicked me off because the internet doesn't want to play. But we are doing the cardio fix. It is Sunday. We are looking at the plank, high plank to low plank is what I call it. Autumn calls it something different, I believe. I can't really remember all of a sudden. So, but exactly what you're doing is going from a high plank to a low plank, ultimately. So, couple key things is make sure that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure your hips are in line with your shoulders, and it'll be on an angle, just slightly. There shouldn't be any bends. And then if you're not doing the modified version, your ankles are in line with your hips, which are in line then with your shoulders. If you are doing it on your knees, we're going to talk about some safety tips there just in a little second. Make sure, no matter which one you're doing, your abdominal muscles you're keeping tight. When I say tight, you're pulling them in, but you're still able to breathe. So don't hold your breath. We never want to hold our breath when we exercise. And you also want to keep your back muscles tight so that they are working together, okay? You don't want to allow your butt to go up in the air like a teepee, and you don't want to have a saggy belly. So don't let your back dip in and let your stomach be down on the ground when you're doing this, okay? That will cause some back problems both directions, so take care of that. So let's get started on how to do it. Hands, like I said, are directly under the shoulders. Now you want to make sure no matter which way you're doing it, I'm not in the plank position yet, I just want to show you the angles of the arms. You don't want to allow your body in front of it. It's too much pressure on your wrists. You want to make sure it's right above. You also don't want to make sure you're back here. It's too much work and you will find the stress in your shoulders eventually. You'll also find that your abdominal muscles can't hold it as long. So staying right above. If you find while you're doing it, because you are doing it for a full minute, if you find the pressure on the wrist too much, especially if you've had carpal tunnel syndrome and have had surgery on them or any kind of wrist injuries, you might find a little bit more pressure, or just because our wrists are weaker. So if that happens, just turn your hands in a bit and you can do your exercise just like that. That just takes a bit of the pressure off for you. Okay, otherwise fingers are pointing forward. Your back end, if you're doing the regular version, you're up on your toes, and you'll notice my body, I'm going from my shoulders to my hips to my ankles are all in that angle that I was talking about. You can't really see with this shirt here, but there we go. All right, you want to make sure that you are keeping that body straight. You don't want to be, this is what I was talking about with the dip, you don't want to let that happen, and you don't want to be doing this the whole time. Okay, you want to make sure you're at that angle the whole time. Now, I talked about the modified version having a little bit different. Now you want to put your knees down. Now when you go on though, you don't want to be on your kneecaps. You want to be on the edge of the quadricep muscle, your thigh muscle, when you do it, so your pressure's there. It's not actually on the knees when you do it, okay? So if you're going down, it's down, down, up, up, and it's all about placement. So watch where you put your hands. You should be putting them in the same spot every time. If you go onto your toes, it's the same thing. All right, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. And she does, in the video, switch the hands that lead, so you just need to pay attention to when that is. It's about the halfway point, about 30 seconds. She switches the lead hand so that you're working your muscles equally. Always really important that you are. Although we are more dominant on one side, it is important to have both muscles working the same amount of repetitions. And the reason for that is you don't want to be lopsided when you're holding something or when you're doing basic activities where you do use both hands. You don't want to, carrying a box somewhere, you don't want to be like this because you're going to add more pressure to that other shoulder. Balance is really key when we're working our muscles. So you want to make sure that you're always equally leading with the hands or arms when you do it. If you've got any questions, and I hope you do, share them in the post below in the comments, because I love having them and I haven't had any from any of you guys lately. So help me out. Let me love doing what I do. All right? Have yourself a great night. Finally, we got this post up, and we will see you tomorrow for Dirty 30. Yes, my favorite. Okay, bye now.